K9GCR monitoring 195. Good evening, Mike. How is my signal? I'm talking to you on a brand new Yaesu FTM 200. Okay. Okay, that's George N9WSQ. He's a trustee of our 147300 repeater. That Dakota, that repeater is also it's a system fusion repeater. It's connected to wires X. Sounds good. Okay, we'll get underway here in a couple minutes. We'll write these check-ins down. Thanks. K9GCR recorder. Thanks. Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. And welcome to the Friday night fun net on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford. My name is Jim. My call is K9GCR. I'm located in Freeport. I'll be your host this evening. The purpose of having this net is what the name implies, to have fun. That's what this hobby ram radio is all about. In addition, providing emergency communications if when situation warrants. The secondary purpose of this net is to provide on-air meeting place for all amateur radio operators. Everybody's welcome to check in. You do not have to be a member of any club, organization, group, or association to participate in this net. All you need is a valid FCC license. This net meets each and every Friday evening at 8 p.m. This repeater is a PL 114.8 plus offset. You need to have that programmed into your radio in order to have access to the repeater. For those who may be using older radios and do not have PL capability, or if the PL on your radio is not working properly, you can check into the Friday Night Fun Net by using the repeater output frequency to straight 195 simplex. Everybody here you have acknowledge you and check in the net. If you are on the 6, you can hear the repair, but you can't get to it due to too much interference. You're too far away from it, or you don't have internet access. You can give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline, area code 815-232-FN, 232-3636, the local Freeport number. I'll take your check-in over the phone, but try to check it on the radio if at all possible. Also, we have 2 internet check-ins. N9WSQ, George. The trustee of the 147.300 repeater in Dakota, Illinois, the president of our Stevens County Repeater Association. He is down in Gulf Shores, Alabama. He's going to be spending a whole month down there. So, George, thank you for checking in. Also, KF9SD, keep finding 9 silver dollars. Pat in Warren, Illinois, got you checked in. Thank you for checking in. By the way, I'm talking to you on a brand new Yaesu FTM 200 radio. Thanks to Justin, K9FEO, Kevin W9KLG, and several other hands chipped in and got me this new radio. I'm having a little problem with my Yaesu FTM 100 with the dial, so they chipped in. They got me this radio. Anybody checking in, let me know how this radio is sounding. So, okay. This is the Friday Night Fun Net for Friday, February 2nd, 2024. This net is being live streamed around the world on the internet with via YouTube. Let's see. Mike, KD9MED, down Rochelle, Illinois, is live streaming this set. He's also recording this set for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. Those of you who are listening on the internet, if you wish to check in via the internet with Mike K9MED, and he in turn will relay your internet check to me via the radio. Like I said, we had 2 check-ins. George N9WSQ down in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and KF9SD, Pat in Warren, Illinois. Okay, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take a short time of most stations. If you have traffic, you got something else going on that you can't stay for the net, you got family stuff going on, you'd rather concentrate on your driving, we'll take your short time of mobile check-in. If you have traffic, we'll do your traffic right away. After that, we'll take general check-ins. First, we'll take general check-ins from northern Illinois. Next, we'll take general check-ins from southern Wisconsin. After that, we'll take general check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. When you check in the net, state whether or not you have traffic. Your traffic consists of breakfast, bike rides, marathons, or hamfests. And, okay. Okay, we'll do the traffic portion, and what have you. You have any traffic, just let me know. And of course, we got the our regular repeater we do, the Friday Night Fun Net Tech Corner. Are you having problems with your power supply or amplifier? What kind of an antenna do you want to put up on your tower? What do you want to have? What kind of radio do you want to buy? Base, mobile, all mode, APRS, FT8, or what have you? If you have any technical questions, please feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to answer them for you. Then we'll have the Friday Night Fun Net contest / DX Corner. Did you make any DX contests this week? I sure did. I had a good time at Winter Field Day 2 last weekend. So we'll talk about that. You know of any contests that are taking place, please let us know about that too, or special events. Then we'll have a swap net. You have items to buy, sell, or trade, or want related to obvious RAM radio or computer, let us know what you have. We'll try to do that for you. The topic tonight, Groundhog Day. Do you believe in the legends and what about Groundhog Day or not? That's where I remember we did similar to that a few years ago about that, exactly on Groundhog Day. We got some good news concerning that, if you believe the legend, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay, with all so-called formalities out of the way, let's get underway. Remember, I'm talking to you on a brand new Yaesu FTM 200 radio. How does it sound? At this time, I'll take a short time of most stations for Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now.
W9KLG short time, no traffic.
Just West, yeah. Short timer and no traffic.
Okay, I've got 2 stations that checked in. W9KLG, Kevin and Robert, thanks to you and Justin for everything, man. I sure appreciate this. I've got you checked in short time. Suddenly, have a good evening. Bob, N4WGN. About a mile west of me here in Freeport, got you checked in. And you two have a good evening. Thanks to both of you for checking in. Any more short time mobile stations like to check in the Friday Night Fun then? Please go now.
Alpha 9 Victor Uniform. Michael in Janesville. I have no traffic.
89VU, Mike in Janesville. Got you checked in, Mike. How's this brand new radio sounding to you?
Back on analog, Jimmy, there you go.
Yeah, I guess I pressed the button too fast. This is analog. How's that sound to you, Jimmy?
That sounds good. Sounds good, Mike. What kind of a radio are you using? What's the brand name of that radio?
Meter, and that's all it is. I don't have the dual band. One of these days maybe I'll buy a dual band. It'd be nice to be able to get on 70 centimeters. 89VU, back to net.
Thank you, Mike. 89VU. Yeah, let's switch back over to analog, please. Now everybody has the digital capability. Everybody has a digital, so we'll just keep this an analog net. But you guys, that was great. 89VU, Mike and Janesville, thanks for checking in. Do we have any more short time mobile stations like checking the Friday Night Fun net? Please go now.
KC9QPO, Paul in Los Park, short time tonight, 73.
KC9QPO, Paul in Los Park. Okay, Paul, I've got you checked in. You got a good signal tonight. Thanks for checking in. So everybody have a good evening. Any more short time mobile stations the Friday Night Fun net? Please go now.
Ahead.
Well, there's somebody trying to check in. Come back.
Jimmy, it's a 9GOV, in and out, no traffic.
N9DLB, Dave here in Freeport. He lives about a mile east of me, just north of beautiful downtown Freeport. Okay, Dave, I've got you checked in. Southern, you have a good evening. Thanks for checking in. Any more short time mobile stations for the Friday Night Fun net? Please go now. Okay, we've had 5 short time mobile stations and one checked on both analog and digital. But that's great. That's great. So okay, let's go on with general check-ins. And at this time, I will take general check-ins in Northern Illinois. Would like to check in the Friday Night Fun net. Please go now.
K9FDO.
K9RFD. Beautiful signal tonight, Justin, and thank you for checking in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins in Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun net? Please go now.
AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe.
AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe. Got you checked in, Tom. How's the signal on this brand new radio I'm talking to you on?
Sounds great. Sounds like a broadcast station. It's so clear.
Okay, Tom, thanks. Thanks. We'll get back to you a few minutes around there. Tom, thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois with the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Do we have any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois who would like to check the Friday Night Fun Net at this time? Please call now. Okay, now somebody was trying to check in, but all I got was a mic click, a little bit of noise, no audio. Let's try that one more time, please.
Good evening, Jimmy. WX9WL.
WX9WL. Okay, I've got you checked in, Southern, and I'll get back to you a few minutes around table. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois, the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now. Okay, well, no further check-ins from Northern Illinois. Let's see how many check-ins we get from Southern Wisconsin. Any general check-ins from Southern Wisconsin who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now.
KC9RGD Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin.
K9RFD Norman, Orfordville, Wisconsin. Okay, Norm, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking. By the way, how is this new radio sounding to you?
You're a 5-9 into Orfordville, Wisconsin, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. 5-9 in Orfordville, Wisconsin. Thanks, Norm. I'll get back to you a few minutes for the roundtable, and thank you for checking in. Do we have any more general check-in from Southern Wisconsin, the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Well, this Friday night fish Friday night in Wisconsin, everybody's at their favorite bar, restaurant, or tavern eating their catfish, buffalo, carp, northern pike, walleye, muskie, crabbies, or bluegills. Those of you in the Milwaukee area eating your Polish sausages, hot dogs, brats, kielbasa, or brunch. Right here, of course, you cheese lovers read some of that famous Wisconsin cheese. I guess the warm weather, I guess the ice has kind of gone out on the lakes there, so your guys are going to have to wait for a while if you want to go back out and do any more ice fishing. Okay, at this time, I'll take general check-ins from anywhere in Northern Illinois or Southern Wisconsin for the Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now.
KD9MED, Mike and Rochelle.
K9MED, Mike and Orford. I'm so excited, I don't even know what I'm talking about, folks. K9MED, Mike and down in Rochelle, Illinois. About 1,000 feet away from now, K9EPZ. He's live streaming this net from YouTube on the internet. He's also recording this for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. Okay, by the way, Justin showed me the Facebook page when they were installing this radio last Sunday night. That's sure the beauty there. So, okay. It's the second time I got to see that. Last time he has a laptop. So, okay. Mike, we'll get back to you in a few minutes for the roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois or Southern Wisconsin, the Friday Night Fun Net, please go now.
Hey, B9SSV, Mike and Roscoe.
K9SSV, Mike and Roscoe. I've got you checked in, Mike. How is this new radio sounding to you?
That sounds nice and crystal clear to me at my end here.
Okay, sounds good, Mike. We'll get back to you a few minutes around there. Thanks for checking in. Any more general changes from anywhere in Northern Illinois or Southern Wisconsin, the Friday Night Fun Net, please go now. ahead with the no further check-ins. We'll have more check-ins before the night's over, no doubt. Let's go ahead with the traffic portion. State Line Amps Radio Club will be conducting a VE testing session tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. at the Freeport Public Library. I know of 2 people who are at least for sure who are coming over and taking their tests. One of them is Justin K9FDO. He's coming to take his extra class test. And the next person will be Corey. He's the son of Kevin, W9KLG, studying for his tech license. Well, good luck to both of them. Let's hope both of them pass with flying colors. Again, a VE testing session tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. at the Freeport Public Library. And by the way, Tony, K9RFD, is no longer involved with the VE testing session. John Mitchell, W9AXD here in Freeport, is involved in that. I tried to get a hold of him. I do not have his phone number. The phone number that Mel, K9RPN, gave me Wednesday night after the swap, that is no longer in service. So, there you go. What are you going to do? Also, let me reset. The National Weather Service, Quad Cities, will be putting on an in-person weather spotter class on, it'll be on let's see, Tuesday, March 19th at 6:30 p.m. at the Highland Community College building H in the Hotel Student Conference Center, room 201. If you're not doing anything, come on over that date. The National Weather Service Quad Cities does a great job with these weather spotter classes. You see a great video, slide presentations. You'll even see you'll even serve refreshments. Last year we had over 150 people show up. If you're not doing anything on March 19th, come on over. Once again, National Weather Service in the Quad Cities will be putting on an in-person weather spotter class Tuesday, March 19th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. It runs from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Highland Community College student building, Aitchison Hotel, Student Conference Center, room 201. You do have to sign up, but just show up. Let's see, we can't maybe have 200 people show up this time around. And one moment, please. The National Weather Service, Romeoville, will be putting on a weather spotter class on Tuesday, March 5th, 2024, at the Terry Valley Fire Department at 4919 Black Hawk Road. I believe that will start at 6:30 p.m. You do have to register online. Eventbrite.com. E-Echo. V-Victor. E-Echo. N November. T-Tango. B-Bravo. R-Romeo. I-India. T-Tango. E-Echo.com. Again, the National Weather Service, Romeoville, will be putting on a weather spotter class Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 at the Terry Valley Fire Department at 4919 Black Hawk Road. You want to register, you got to sign up with Eventbrite.com. Okay, that's all the traffic I have. Does anybody else have any traffic you'd like to pass along? All right, let's go ahead with the Friday Night Fun at Tech corner. Are you having a problem with your amplifier or your power supply? Well, what kind of an antenna do you want to put up on your tower? Do you have any, what kind of radio do you want to buy? Base, mobile, all mode, APRS, FT8, what have you? You have any technical questions? please feel free to bring them before the net. We'll do our best to answer for you. Anybody have any technical question at this time? Okay. Well, no TechNet traffic. We'll go ahead with the Friday Night Fun Net, the contest / DX corner. Did anybody make any DX reports? Did anybody that make any contact to Winter Field Day last weekend, I should say? We'd like to hear bombs. Okay. Anybody have any DX reports or contest information they'd like to pass along for the net?
AC9NW.
AC9NW. Okay, Tom, what do you got for us?
Well, I only had one DX contact because I wasn't on the air much, but it was a good one. It was Clipperton Island. That was only activated for 14 days. They had a DXpedition go there. It's an uninhabited island, and it's actually a coral atoll. And I got them on 12 meters, and their call was Tango X-Ray 5 Sierra. And they're on their way home now, I guess. They finished at the end of the month, so it was a kind of a short DXpedition they had. AC9NW, back to net.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Now, I heard Kurt, KE9N, and several other stations when they were talking back and forth with each other, I believe on this repeater, or they were trying to make contact with that island there too. Whether they did, I have no idea. Thanks for that DX report there, Tom. Okay, does anybody else have a DX report or contest information they'd like to pass along?
KB9SSV.
KB9SSV. Okay, Mike, what do you got for us?
Well, 10 meters is pretty hot. Got them all over the place last week. Clipperton Island, many Russians, Ukraine, most of the South American places, Brazil and Argentina, Chile, Poland, England, Italy, Austria, Czech Republic, Argentina, Slavic Republic, Netherlands, France, Italy, just to name a few. There's more on there. And, of course, Japan at night. Hit a few of them guys. Croatia, Serbia. So it was pretty hot. Only get hotter. Back to net.
Okay, sounds good. Writing all this information down. Well, you sure had a field day this week with that. Sounds good. Okay, thanks for checking and bringing that DX report. Do we have any more stations with any DX reports they'd like to pass along? Oh boy. KD9MED carrier. I don't know what I'm up. He must be under the weather or something like that. He's probably got something else going on here. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to take too much time with this, but these are the, I made 19 contacts on Winterfield Day last week. Same number of contacts I made last year. I made contacts at stations in Pennsylvania, New York, Rhode Island, Michigan, and here in Illinois with our own Justin, K9FBO. Connecticut, Maryland, Ohio, North Carolina, Oklahoma. Let's see, and Connecticut, Massachusetts, West Virginia. My last contact was with a station in North Dakota. Never talked to a station in North Dakota before. So those were my contacts with Winter Field Day last week. Last weekend, I should say. Hold on. Okay. Any more stations have any DX reports you'd like to pass along?
KD9YBG.
KD9YBG, good evening, Dale. Let me check you in the net. Did you have any DX reports you'd like to pass along?
No, I didn't have any. I was just checking in because I was a little late and I didn't know what you're going to be doing afterwards, so I thought I'd just kind of catch in, call in before you started talking on something else. KD9YBG, we're just standing by.
Okay, Dale, we got you checked in. We just started about a half hour ago. We haven't even gotten to the round table as of yet there. So, okay, sounds good, Dale. Thanks for checking in. Well, let's. Do we have any more stations who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net before we proceed? Please call now. Okay, let's go ahead with the SWAT net. All items to be bought or traded must be related to objects, ramp, radio, or computers. All items to be bought, sold, or traded must be property of or possession of the person who wants to get rid of the stuff. You may mention prices over the air, but haggling should take place either in person or over the telephone. Also, no commercial business of any kind is allowed. Does anybody have any swap net traffic you'd like to pass along? Okay, I am still looking for a mag mount mobile antenna. If you're not using yours anymore, if you'd like to get rid of it, please let me know. Just give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline, area code 815-232-FNFN, 2323-636. So, okay, Justin, K9FDO. By the way, my old Yaesu radio, I got that sitting on the card table. It's connected to a brand new power supply, thanks to Dan, KD9SAZ, and some of the other hands who tipped and got me a brand new power supply. That Yaesu FTM 100, I will refer to it as my old Yaesu, and this new radio is my new Yaesu. I'm using George's Magma Moments that he bought me for at the Sterling Hamfest a couple years ago. It still works great, but I'm still looking for another one. And I think I've got some other, if I can find, oh yeah, Richard N9CO still has for sale 1,000 feet of TWS 400 cable. You may look it up on the internet, then you may contact him at area code 815-547-8686. Area code 815-547-8686. And I'm trying to find, oh boy. Here we go. One moment, please. Okay, Justin K9FDO. Anybody else? You might be interested in this. Dave. Alpha 9 and Yankee Echo in Avon Township, Rock County, Wisconsin, near Broadhead. He's got a whole bunch of stuff there. He's got a Fall-Star radio and MAG 99C manual tuner for $100. He's got also power supplies, 70 amp. Let's see. Astron, power supplies or what have you there. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. If anybody's interested, contact Dave, A9 K9YE at area code 608-814-0069. Area code 608-814-0069. He's got a whole bunch of power supplies he was trying to get rid of. He's downsizing his ham shack, if you will. Okay. Okay, now I'm trying to get all my papers and stuff straightened out, so bear with me here. Okay, at this time, do we have any more stations who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region without traffic? Please call K9 GCR. Okay, Groundhog Day. That's the topic tonight. Do you believe in the old legends or not? First of all, I got some good news. Woodstock Willie, over in Woodstock, Illinois, did not see a shadow this morning, so we are in for an early spring. I do not know what Jimmy the Groundhog in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin did, but I'm assuming he did not see a shadow either. So, I have not heard what Punxsutawney Phil did. Oh, well, who cares? He doesn't know as you know what from a hole in the ground anyway. Stand by hotline. This is K9 GCR to Friday Night Fun Net and the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. That was John, K9 GDF, checking the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. He heard the phone ring, but that's about it. He doesn't put stock in the Groundhog Day too, but okay. Justin, K9FBO, what do you say? Do you believe all those old legends about the groundhog or not? What do you say?
Well, Jimmy, at this point, you kind of got to. I'm done with this weather. And, I mean, you know, I heard on the radio earlier about 40% of the time he's right. And I'm hoping that it's the good 40% this time. So I'm going to go ahead and say sure, because we need it, K9FEO.
Okay, Justin, sounds good. Hey, thanks for checking in. We'll definitely talk to you later. Hey, in case I don't talk to you again, are you and Corey still planning on coming over tomorrow?
Yes, we are, and I'll talk to you before then as well. Back to you, Jimmy, K9FEO.
Okay, you sound like a broadcast station yourself. That's great, Justin. Thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you later. Okay. AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe. What do you say? Do you believe those old legends about the groundhog or not?
No, I don't think I can. When I heard the same thing, that he's been right 40% of the time, that means he's been wrong 60% of the time. So I guess what you can do is just figure you're going to have that much more winter, or it's going to come either way, it comes the same time. So I guess it's just a kind of a folklore thing. AC9NW, back to net.
Oh, sure, that's for sure. I'll tell you what I saw on the news tonight is in the Milwaukee Zoo. Instead of using a groundhog, they use the penguins. but they did not see their shadow either. But somebody was, I think it was on Channel 13 News, they said, well, it's Groundhog Day, not Penguin Day. Okay, Tom, hey, thanks for checking in. WX9WL, are you still with us? Welcome to Friday Night Fun Net. I've talked to you before on this net. Do you believe in the old legends about the groundhog or not? Okay, I guess he's moved on then. Norm, K9RGG, what do you say about the groundhog? Do you believe that or not?
KC9GCR, KC9RGG. Well, all I know, Jim, is Puxatawny Phil didn't see his shadow, so that means spring is coming a lot quicker, and that's just fine with me. I'm tired of this winter. It was a pretty good winter, but the fog the last couple of weeks has been terrible. Congratulations on all those contacts that you made during the winter field day. Pretty good. And also I'd like to compliment everybody because when we sang Happy Birthday to You last week, I was able to replay that over the internet on the Facebook page, and my wife really enjoyed that. So have a good evening and have a good net, Jim. KC9GCR, KC9RGG.
Norm, thank you very much for doing that. That was great. That was wonderful. I'm glad you got to hear that. Everybody else got to hear that. Sounds good. Thanks. Norm, 73, you have a good evening. I better let you go so you can hit the hay. Thanks for checking in. Okay. KD9MED, Mike and Rochelle. What's going on with you? Do you believe the old legend about the groundhog or not?
KD9MED here. Well, Jimmy, I've got an interesting answer for you here, and it's going to be a little lengthy, but I'll keep it as short as possible here. Brief reset. So I'll go and say about 50-50. I mean, you know, animals and things like that, they know more about the weather than we do. You know, I mean, you look at things like hummingbirds, you know, they're able to go thousands of miles and, you know, avoid weather and still find the same place every year. Brief reset. So as far as that goes, I'll just say, you know, like 50-50. I kind of believe in it, but, you know, he's still a rodent. You know, he's not a meteorologist. And so, you know, that's where I get the 50-50. So brief reset here. So here's the interesting story. Years ago, I used to work at a wastewater plant. And I come on board one day, and the guys were working late, and this was on a Friday. Brief reset. And the moon just happened to be up, and I happened to have a look at the moon, and there was this very prominent ring around it. And I'm like, holy cow, look at that ring. Brief reset. And of course the guys are like, what are you talking about? What's the ring all about? And I'm like, well, look how prominent it is. It means we're going to have rain here within probably the next 24 to 36 hours. Brief reset. So as you can imagine, the guys are, you know, they're laughing and saying old wives' tale and, yeah, that'll never happen and blah, blah, blah. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy, brief reset. Within, I think it was 36 hours, that wastewater plant got absolutely poured on in DeKalb, and they were probably looking at, I think that day they were looking at 7 or 8 inches of rain, and and it's interesting. Brief reset. Because when I got called on board that night, it was still pouring rain, and I came into the control room, and all the guys were just staring at me, and I said, "Old wives' tale, huh?" And that's what I got to say. KD9MED, back to net.
Oh boy, that's for sure. Those stories like that can even overwhelm a sewer system, to say the least. especially if some of that rainwater somehow gets into the sanitary sewer, and that plant can become overwhelmed in no time at all. So that's the way it goes. Thank you for that message there, Mike, and you're doing a great job with live streaming this net on the internet and recording it for future replay on the Facebook page. I can't wait till after you get done posting it later tonight. See what happens. Thanks for checking in there, Mike. Okay, case 9 DGF John in Elgin checks on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. So that concludes my list. Do we have any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net where we're in the region? With route traffic, please call case 9 GCR.
KD9EPZ.
K9EPZ, good evening, Al. What do you think about the legends of the groundhog? Do you believe that or not?
I don't know, I ate some groundhog for breakfast this morning.
Okay.
With pork sausages, groundhog. But other than that, yeah, I go on the idea that there's a possibility, animals seem to know better than we do, and it could very well be dependent on if the groundhog, they wake this poor thing up out of hibernation, and he comes up and he says, I'm not ready to stay, I'll go back to bed, or not. And, it's going to be cold. It's still going to be cold. I want to go back to sleep. It's going to be warm. I think I'll stay up.
Yeah, I hear you. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, yesterday in the Rockford area, they got up to 55 degrees, a brand new all-time record for that date. And I was listening to our weather station here in Freeport, KZZ 56 162450. Then let's see, they gave the Dubuque, Iowa weather summary. They tied a record. I think it was 52 or 51 degrees. That record went all the way back to 1877. So go figure. Close to 150-year record was tied. One more degree or that would have been broken. I'm sure there are a lot of new record high temperatures set yesterday. So that, we'll just wait and see. And I think towards the end of next week, it's supposed to get back into the 50s again.
Just fine. I really don't want to. I don't really like winter, so. All it is be stuck inside cold and having to worry about getting snow cleared up when it snows, and yeah. But I think when you asked do I prefer winter or summer, I prefer summer.
I do too, and so do most everybody else. So okay, sounds good. Sorry that winter heat was not as successful for you as it was last year for you, but go figure. Ain't that the way it goes with conditions?
Yeah, that's what happens. It just it could be the unusual weather patterns also cause unusual propagation, and it is what it is.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, Al. And how did things go this morning? Did your people show up? Everything go well with you?
She showed up, but when she left, she'd gotten a phone call, and she told me her husband yelled at her that he didn't want her driving this far. So she's not gonna be here tomorrow. I'm gonna be short-handed again. So it just, and I don't blame her. She's got an older car, and she lives
like east of Rock Falls. I mean, that is a bit of a drive. So he doesn't want to driving this far. So okay, you know, I'm not going to get into the middle of it. I just kind of wish they'd get this straightened out, because like I said, I can't keep putting delivered meals on my credit card. It's gonna put me in a hardship.
This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun at K9RFD Repeater, Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun at Central and Freeport. I hear you, Al. Yeah, well, ain't that the way it goes? Well, I wish you good luck and what have you. Hopefully everything works out for you. Okay, I'm going to say thank you for checking in, and thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun. Talk to you down the hall.
Jimmy, yep, I'll be sitting here listening. KD9MED back from that.
Oh, you know what? Dale, KD9YBG, I forgot to get back to you. What do you say about the groundhog? Do you believe all that stuff or not?
KD9YBG, here's how I look at it. If it's sunny out and he comes out, he's going to see a shadow. And if it's cloudy out, not going to see one. KD9YBG, back to net.
Okay, Dale, I hear you. Hey, that was a great net that Chad. Let's see, W9AXD ran last night there. I was able to copy all three of you. I was not able to copy that other station in Janesville, but that was a great net, and I was able to check into the Night Watch net on Chad's repeater. So that was great.
Well, your new radio sounds really good. I can tell it's a big step up from what you're using before. KD9YBG, back to net.
Okay, sounds good. In fact, my old Yaesu, the FTM 100, it's on. It's connected to the new power supply. Thanks to Justin and Kevin for doing that. That work with that brand new power supply, and I'm monitoring the 443-275. That's a 440 machine here in Freeport. Nobody's been on the air, so I've been leaving that. Okay, Dale, thank you for checking in. You have a good evening. Maybe we'll catch you tomorrow night on the Rag-Chew net.
Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow. KD9YBG.
Okay, do we have any more stations? I'd like to check the Friday Night Fun at this time. You're coming home with your Friday night fish fry, steak fry, grocery shopping, or the show. You've been coming. If you just turned the radio on, you've been copying the mail for the last 50 minutes. This is your chance to check the Friday Night Fun net. Remember, everyone in the region with drop traffic, please call K9GCR.
KD9MED. Kilowatt Echo 9 Norway.
Good evening, Kerry. What's going on with you?
You've got Kurt on the other side there, Jimmy.
Thanks, Kerry. I'll get back to you in a minute. KE9N, go ahead.
Oh, that's no problem, Jimmy. You can get to me. Kerry was first, so go ahead back to him.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Kerry. We'll get back to you. Okay. Kerry, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me get out my papers. We already had the DX corner, but I'll get it back out again so you can let us know what how did your DX reports go this week?
Oh, Jimmy, this is week number 2 that I didn't even turn on a radio. Life comes at you fast. However, I did get a confirmation this week from 7Q7EMH in Malawi. I worked him 13 months ago on 10 meters, and I finally got that confirmation. So that gives me like 15 or 16 African nations so far. KD9MED.
Okay, Kerry. everybody. Yeah, I made 19 contacts on Winter Field Day last weekend. Same number I did last week with let's see. Just a minute. Let me get out my logbook again here. That's the way it goes. All right. Okay. Stations in Pennsylvania, New York, Rhode Island, and let's see, Michigan, one contact here in Illinois with our own Justin K9FDO. Connecticut, Maryland, Ohio, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Massachusetts, West Virginia. My last contact was with a station in North Dakota.
Well, at least you got one of them west of the Mississippi. That's so weird how the radio waves want to go east mostly instead of west. So weird.
Oh yeah, I could have made more than there were a couple Canadian stations where we were booming in there, but I was not even, save my soul, I was not even making contact with them at all.
Well, their language is kind of hard to understand anyway. Let me see. The only contest I know about this week, I think there's 2 states that are having their QSO party this weekend, and I guess that would have already begun because that would have started at 6 p.m. our time, I think.
Oh, that's right. I think one of them is Vermont, a Vermont QSO party. I think they usually have theirs the weekend after Winter Field Day.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. I'm not looking it up, but yeah, the season for state QSO parties has started. So, well, that's a lot of contacts, Jimmy. 19 contacts. That's 19 more than I've made in the last 2 weeks. So, I got to get back in the saddle again. Thanks a lot. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Kurt. KD9MED.
You're welcome. Hey, I gotta ask you this question. Groundhog Day. Now, I remember I think it was several years ago, and it was on the exact same date, February 2nd, on a Friday night fun. I asked you what you thought of Groundhog Day. You said you didn't believe in getting your information from a road. Do you feel the same way yet?
I have a special affection for marmots. I think they're really cute, and there used to be huge colonies of them in this neighborhood, but they got wiped out about 10 years ago. I guess they must have got poisoned or something. But they're, I just find them real cuddly, and they're great for watching things. They stand up on their hind legs and they just watch and watch and watch. So if you want to know what's going on, it isn't a bad idea to ask a marmot. KD9MED.
Okay, Gary, sounds good. Thanks for checking the Friday night fun and giving us that DX information. Sounds good. Okay, Kurt, KE9N. What's going on with you?
KC9GCR, KE9N. Not too much. I did operate with the Beloit group for Winter Field Day last weekend, and we just had a great time. We didn't operate at night, meaning through the night, but everyone participated. Geez, we probably had 8 to 12 people there all the time. I know we made over 300 contacts, but I don't specifically know the actual number. But I operated a sideband station for a bit, and everyone took turns. There was also a CW station. So we had a real good time and had plenty of food there to eat, and had just a very enjoyable winter field day. And that was out at Chuck's WD9BB. Other than that, personally, I'm just finishing up on a Drake TR4 CW from about 1977 or 78, and I got that aligned. It works real well. All the tubes are good, and so I was just finishing that. That's one of the older radios that I have. Not the oldest, but it goes back a ways. So I just been working on that on the workbench. Back to you, Jimmy. KC9GCR, KE9M.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Justin, K9FBO had a good time the two with the winter at the winter field days. That there too. We even made a contact, which I entered that in my logbook. So that's in all the years I worked field days, and it's the first time that I've ever had a station that check in on 2 meters. But that was great. I had to check the rules though, but they said it was okay, so I entered it. Justin's in my logbook. So, okay, I want to ask you, we're talking about Groundhog Day. Do you believe all those old legends or not?
No, not really. I can appreciate them a little bit, but I believe it's more of a legend on things like that. But I do think animals are very instinctive to the weather and things that are going to happen. The groundhog thing, no, that doesn't make my top 10. But, you know, dogs, cats, animals in general, they're very instinctive to what's going to happen. And all animals, it's not just them. All animals do certain things at certain times of the year, and of course they just have a kind of a built-in clock that lets them know. And so I do think they have a lot of internal resources that we don't have. But the groundhog thing, no, I'm not putting my money on that.
Okay, Kurt, I hear you. I hear you. Well, you believe the old legends there. We're going to have an early spring. So, hey, Kurt, thanks for checking in. Dean, K9FLO has not checked in as of yet.
Okay, well, I'll be listening till probably about 9:45, and then I think I'll probably go upstairs. So we'll see if he makes his way down to the ham shack then. KC9GCR, KE9M.
Okay, Kurt, sounds good. Thanks for checking in. You have a good evening. So, okay, do we have any more stations? Who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time? Please call now.
W9JTC Portable checking in. Good evening, Jimmy.
W9JTC, Jamie in Rockford, Portable. I've got you checked in, Jamie. What's going on with you? We're talking about Groundhog Day. What do you say? Do you believe that stuff or not?
Good evening, everybody on the net. W9JTC on the Portable. You know, they were saying that the statistics say it was that those groundhogs are less than 40% accurate, and I'd be a better believer in the old Farmer's Almanac than I would those, and even the Farmer's Almanac hasn't had a great record as of late. So, at least from what I've read. So, yeah, I don't put much into that. So. Other than that, just taking it easy tonight and just staying in and watching some TV. And I wanted to come out and check into the net, so I grabbed the HT. So anyway, Jimmy, thanks for being there, sir. You have a great net and great topic as always. W9JTC back to net control.
You're welcome, Jamie. Thanks for checking in. I'm running this net on my brand new Yaesu FGM 200. How does it sound to you?
Oh, it sounds good. You can't beat that audio, my friend. I'm on a Yaesu, an FT65, and then downstairs I got an FTM 500D, and I absolutely love that radio. That's probably the most advanced dual bander I've ever had in my life. Anyway, Jimmy, enjoy it, sir. You sound awesome. Back to you, sir. W9JTC.
Okay, sounds good, Jamie. 7-3, you have a good evening. Yeah. Tuesday night during the Ogle County Simplex net there, I heard you tell that Al K9EPZ. You said that that 200 really kicks butt, and I definitely believe it too.
Oh, yeah, that was the strongest signal I've seen out of you, so, on Simplex. So, yeah, it's definitely doing its job for you, Jimmy. All right, well, enjoy, buddy. You have a great evening.
You too, Jamie. Thanks for checking in the Friday Night Fun. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. Any more stations want to check in, please call now.
KD9HKX, Larry and Roscoe.
K9HKX, Larry and Roscoe. Okay, Larry, I've got you checked in. First of all, I'm running this net on my brand new Yaesu FTM 200 radio. How's it sound to you?
It's sounding excellent, Jimmy. Doing a fine job for you.
Okay, sounds good. Now, we're talking about Groundhog Day. You probably heard that Jimmy the Groundhog in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and Woodstock Willie over in Woodstock did not see their shadows, and neither did Punxsutawney Phil, so I guess we're going to be having an early spring. Do you believe that all those old legends or not? That's the question tonight.
KC9GCR, KD9HKX. Well, the short answer to that is no. I put no faith in that kind of prediction, but at the same time, I don't put any faith in long-range predictions from the National Weather Service. So, I would, if you want to take a positive note, the groundhog's as accurate as the National Weather Service on long-range forecasts. So there you go. KC9GCR, KD9HKX.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think earlier this week, for yesterday's high, 55 degrees, which set new all-time record in Rockford, I think earlier this week they were calling it for only to get into the 40s, just in about the mid-40s. But once that sun come out, boy, that temperature really shot up. That's what that February sun will do. Hey, Larry, thank you for checking in. You have a good evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow night on the Saturday Evening Rag Shoe Net, and I'll be net control tomorrow night, too.
Looking forward to it, Jimmy. Appreciate it. 73s, KD9HKX clear.
Okay, do we have any more stations you want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. All right. As you know, as I mentioned this during, at the beginning of the net, we've got VE testing. State Line Amateur Radio Club will be conducting a VE testing session tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. at the Freeport Public Library. Here's what we're going to do. In preparation for this, we're going to be doing Friday Night Fun Net trivia. This is for the benefit of those who are studying for their first ham radio licenses. And I do not know if Corey is listening to this or not. If he is, he better have a piece of have a pencil and paper ready to copy down the correct answers, memorize the questions in your head, and but don't bring the answers to you tomorrow, or you'll get in the doghouse. So, okay. Two people that I know are going to show up. So, okay, all right. First question. Where may SSB phone be used in amateur bands above 50 megahertz? A, only in subbands allocated to general class or higher licensees. B, only on repeaters. C, in at least some segment of all these bands. D, on any band the power is limited to 25 watts. Where may SSB phone be used in amateur bands above 50 megahertz? A, only in subbands allocated to general class or higher licensees. B, only on repeaters. C, in at least some segment of all these bands. D, on any band if the power is limited to 25 watts. Hey, buddy, have the correct answer to this question.
KD9 KPZ.
Go ahead, Al.
Be using a portion a portion of each band. You know, I have a all mode radio. I can do single sideband on VHF and UHF.
You are correct, Al. You are correct. Where may SSB phone be used in amateur bands above 50 megahertz? Correct answer. See, Charlie, at least some segment of all these bands. Okay, let's find another one here. Okay, let's go to the Commission's rules here. All right. What is the FCC Part 97 definition of a beacon? A government transmitter marking the amateur radio band edges. B, a bulletin sent by the FCC to announce a national emergency. C, a continuous transmission of weather information authorized in the amateur bands by the National Weather Service. D, an amateur station transmitting communications for the purposes of observing propagation or related experimental activity. What is the FCC Part 97 definition of a beacon? A government transmitter marking the amateur radio band edges. B, a bulletin sent by the FCC to announce a national emergency. C, a continuous transmission of weather information authorized in the amateur bands by the National Weather Service. D, an amateur station transmitting communications for the purposes of observing propagation or related experimental activities. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
I don't want to do it again.
Okay, Al, go ahead.
D is in Delta.
You are correct, Al, you are correct. What is the FCC Part 97 definition of a beacon? Correct answer is D, Delta. An amateur station transmitting communications for the purposes of observing propagation or related experimental activity. 97.3A9. Beacon stations are restricted to certain subbands to keep them from causing interference since they transmit under automatic control and do not listen for other activity. Ham Radio License Manual, page 7-11. People, if you know the answer to some of these questions, let's come on, let's get in there. Let's not leave it to one person to answer these questions. All right. What is an amateur station's control point? A, the location of the station's transmitting antenna. B, the location of the station's transmitting apparatus. C, the location at which the control operator function is performed. D, the mailing address of the station licensee. What is an amateur station's control point? A, the location of the station's transmitting antenna. B, the location of the station's transmitting apparatus. C, the location at which the control operator function is performed. D, the mailing address of the station licensee. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
Come on, people, there's no gun to your head.
Okay, Al, I'll take care of this one. What is an amateur station's control point? Correct answer is C, Charlie. The location at which the location at which the control operator function is performed. All right. Let's see. Let's find another one here. Okay. Why are simplex channels designated in the VHF-UHF band plans? A, so stations within range of each other can communicate without tying up a repeater. B, for contest operation. C, for working DX only. D, so stations with simple transmitters can access the repeater without automated offset. Why are simplex channels designated in the VHF-UHF band plans? A. So stations within range of each other can communicate without tying up a repeater. B. For contest operation. C. For working DX only. D. So stations with simple transmitters can access the repeater without an automated offset. Anybody have the correct answer to this question? Okay, now if somebody's trying to get in, there's nothing but noise. You might want to increase your power or change the location.
W9KLG. Jimmy, I'll say A.
You are correct, Kevin. You are correct. Why are simplex channels designated in the VHF-UHF band plan? Correct answer is A alpha. So stations within range of each other can communicate without tying up a repeater. If you and the station you've contacted are in range of each other, why not give simplex a try? This avoids occupying or tying up a repeater. Ham radio license manual page 6-6. Okay. What is the approximate velocity of a radio wave in free space? A. 150,000 kilometers per second. B. 300 million meters per second. C. 300 million miles per hour. D. 150,000 miles per hour. What is the approximate velocity of a radio wave in free space? A. 150,000 kilometers per second. B. 300 million meters per second. C. 300 million miles per hour. D. 150,000 miles per hour. Anybody have the correct answer to this question?
I'll go with B Bravo, KD9MED.
You are correct, Mike. You are correct. What is the approximate velocity of a radio wave in free space? Correct answer is B Bravo. 300 million meters per second. The speed of light in space and air is very close to 300 million meters per second. 300 billion or 3 times 10 meters per second. The ham radio license manual page 2-5. I'm not reading these stupid math questions. We'll find another one here. All right. What electronic component allows current to flow in only one direction? A. Resistor. B. Fuse. C. Diode. D. Driven element. What electronic component allows current to flow in only one direction? A. Resistor. B. Fuse. C. Diode. D. Driven element. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
W9KLG, I'll say diode.
You are correct, Kevin. You are correct. What electronic component allows current to flow in only one direction? The correct answer is C. Charlie, diode. A semiconductor that only allows current flow in one direction is called a diode. A diode has two electrodes, and a mode and a cathode. On a diode, the cathode is usually identified by a stripe marked on the component. Heavy-duty diodes that can handle large voltages and currents are called rectifiers. Ham radio license manual page 3-10. Okay, we'll do a few more more questions in the tech Q&A, then we're going to go to the extra Q&A. All right. Okay. Which of the following can reduce overload to a VHF transceiver by a nearby commercial FM station? A. Installing an RF preamplifier. B. Using double shielded coaxial cable. C. Installing a bypass capacitors. Installing bypass capacitors on the microphone cable. D. Installing a band reject filter. Which of the following can reduce overload to a VHF transceiver by a nearby commercial FM station? A. Installing an RF preamplifier. B. Using double shielded coaxial cable. C. Installing a bypass capacitors on the microphone cable. D. Installing a band reject filter. Anybody have a correct answer to this question? Okay. Which of the following can reduce overload to a VHF transceiver by a nearby commercial FM station? Correct answer is D delta, installing a band reject filter. Okay. Which of the following types of... Let's do that again. Which of the following types of solder should not be used for radio and electronic applications? A. Acid core solder. B. Lead tin solder. C. Rosin core solder. D. Tin copper solder. Which of the following types of solder should not be used for radio and electronic applications? A. Acid core solder. B. Lead tin solder. C. Rosin core solder. D. Tin copper solder. Anybody have the correct answer to this question?
K9AP ready.
Boil it out.
Core solder.
Did you cut yourself off? Say that again.
Don't use acid core solder.
You are correct, Al. You are correct. Which of the following types of solder should not be used for radio and electronic applications? Correct answer is A. Alpha. Acid core solder. Avoid acid core solder, which is corrosive to electronics. Sam Radio, license manual, page 4-17. Before we continue with the trivia segment, do we have any more stations that like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. All right, let's see. Just a minute here. Well, I think we'll read one more question, the tech Q&A, then we're going to go to the extra Q&A. I gotta find the question first. All right. What are the toughest questions in the tech general and extra Q&A books? Your tower questions, of course. Those of you who are going to be getting your first ham radio licenses, someday you're going to be involved in climbing a tower climbing expedition. You're either going to be climbing the tower itself, or else you're going to be part of the ground support crew. Now, tomorrow, when you come to Freeport tomorrow, take your test. This question might be, if they read this question, if you get it correctly, this might put you over the top as getting your ticket, getting your license. But here we go. All right. What is required when climbing an antenna tower? A. Have sufficient training on safe tower climbing techniques. B. Use appropriate tie-offs to the tower at all times. C. Always wear an approved climbing harness. D. D, all of these choices are correct. What is required when climbing an antenna tower? A, have sufficient training on the safe tower climbing techniques. B, use appropriate tie-offs to the tower at all times. C, always wear an approved climbing harness. D, all these choices are correct. Anybody have correct answer to this question? You tower climbers should know the correct answer to this question by heart.
Hey Jimmy, we got a internet answer here from Patrick. How about that? KD9MED.
Okay, go ahead.
Alrighty, Patrick says all on that answer. All.
Yeah, you are correct, Pat. You are correct. Yes. Thanks, Mike. What is required when climbing an antenna tower? A, have sufficient training on safe tower climbing techniques. B, use appropriate tie-offs to the tower at all times. C, always wear an approved climbing harness. Well, the correct answer is D, Delta. But by Patrick, KF9SC, keep finding $9 silver. All these choices are correct. Starting with personal preparation, both climbers and ground crew should wear appropriate protective gear anytime work is underway on the tower. Each member of the crew should wear a hard hat, goggles, or safety glasses, and heavy-duty gloves suitable for working with ropes. If you are the climber, be sure to get sufficient training on safe tower climbing and techniques before beginning, using appropriate tie-off to the tower at all times, and always wear an approved climbing harness. Don't use the leather lineman's belt, as they are unsafe and no longer approved for tower work. Many climbers prefer footwear with a steel shank that supports the foot while standing on a narrow rung. Handmade license manual, page 919. Okay. Well, we're not done with the trivia section and answer yet, but this concludes this portion of Friday Night Fun Net Trivia for the technician portion. Those of you who are coming to Freeport, take your test. Good luck. Let's hope you all pass. Now, before I proceed with the extra class portion, do we have any more stations to like check the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Oh, I'll bet you K9FLO, I'll bet you he forgot. Oh, well, we'll try it. Well, we're going to try it for him in a few more minutes here. It'll take some time. Now we're going to do the Friday Night Fun Net Trivia extra Q&A. Okay. Now, all right. To which of the following examinees may VE not administer an examination? A, employees of the VE. Friends of the VE. C, relatives of the VEs as listed in the FCC rules. D, all these choices are correct. To which of the following examinees may a VE not administer an examination? A, employees of the VE. B, friends of the VE. C, relatives of the VE as listed in the FCC rules. D, all these choices are correct. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
'89 EPZ, all of the above.
Well, Al, you did good tonight, but tonight this question that's not the right answer. But thanks for trying anyway.
Okay, I must have been listening wrong.
Oh, don't worry about it. This is all in fun. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and read the question and give the answer. To which of the following examinees may VE not administer an examination? Well, the correct answer is relatives of the VE as listed in the FCC rules. We're going to skip. I'm not going to read that definition. We're going we're going to find something else here. Okay, what is, now those of you who are probably not familiar with extra classes, this probably sounds all Greek to you. But we have one, at least one of the persons who's coming to Freeport tomorrow is studying, is trying to, try to pass his extra class. So here we go. What is indicated when one of the ellipses in an FSK cross ellipse display suddenly disappears? A. Selective fading has occurred. B. One of the signal filters is saturated. C. The receiver has drifted 5 kilohertz from the desired receive frequency. D. The mark and space signal have been inverted. What is indicated when one of the ellipses in the FSK cross ellipse display suddenly disappears? A. Selective fading has occurred. B. One of the signal filters is saturated. C. The receiver has drifted 5 kilohertz from the desired receive frequency. D. The mark and space signal have been inverted. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
I'll take a guess at A, Jimmy. AC9GO.
Hello, Larry. Did you say A alpha?
Correct.
Okay, you are correct, Larry. You are correct. What is indicated when one of the ellipses in an FSK crossed ellipse displays suddenly disappears? Correct answer is A alpha. Selected fading has occurred. A common tuning aid for digital FSK signals uses a crossed pair of ellipses. Each ellipse represents one of the two tones being sent. With the propagation effect known as selective fading, a small region of the radio spectrum undergoes a deep fade as if a narrow filter has been applied to it. This is what can make one of the ellipses on the terminal unit display disappear. Extra class license manual page 8-10. AC9GO, good evening, Larry. What's going on with you?
Hey, not much, Jimmy. Not much. Just noticed what time it was on the Gee, I haven't said hi to Jim tonight. And, I kind of like to get in here and say hi to you anyhow. By the way, Jimmy, what is an ellipsis?
That I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you could tell me. Just kidding, Jimmy. I don't know myself. Oh, my. Anyhow, hope you've had a good evening. AC9GO.
Like I said, anybody that don't understand this extra class stuff, I said that's all. It might sound Greek to you, that's for sure. Hey, we're talking about Groundhog Day. What do you think? Do you believe all the legends about the groundhog or not?
No, but it's, it's kind of fun to watch the stuff on TV when they bring Punxsutawney Phil out, and that movie Groundhog Day was that was a hoot, that's for sure. But around here we don't pay too much attention to the Pennsylvania groundhog. We just figure it's going to be another 6 weeks of partial winter anyhow. AC9GO.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy the Groundhog in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and Woodstock Willie over in Woodstock did not see their shadows, so they're predicting an early spring. But I heard on the news over in Woodstock they have Groundhog Days. It's kind of a 4-day festival that runs. I think they show that movie Groundhog's Day. It was on the Channel 13 News tonight or whatever. I was watching the some of that.
Yeah, I missed that. But, yeah, I enjoyed that movie. I've seen it a couple of times. And it's really kind of funny. It would be something to go through something like that, wouldn't it? AC9GO, back to that.
Sounds good, sounds good. Yeah, I hear you. I've never seen that movie at all, but I guess I heard it. They say it's a good one. Okay, Larry, I'm going to let you go. Southern, you have a good evening. I'll be net control tomorrow night for the right net. If you want to tune in. 7-3, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun. Talk to you later. K9GCR.
73, Jimmy. AC9GO, and I'll be clear.
Oh, Larry, before I let you go, I'm running this net on my brand new Yaesu FGM 200 radio. How do you like the sound of it?
It sounds real good, Jimmy. Sounds real good. Yeah, that's a great gift there for you, my friend. And hope you enjoy it. AC9GO.
I would definitely enjoy it, Larry. Thanks. 7, you have a good evening. I'm going to see if Dean, K9FLO, is on there. Dean, are you with us? All right, continuing on with the extra portion. Okay. How can intermodulation interference between two repeaters occur? A, when the repeaters are in close proximity and the signals cause feedback in the final amplifier of one or both transmitters. B, when the repeaters are in close proximity and the signals mix in the final amplifier of one or both transmitters. C, when the signals from the transmitters are reflected out of phase from airplanes passing overhead. D, when the signals from the transmitters are reflected in phase from airplanes passing overhead. This is not double talk, folks. I'll repeat the question. How can intermodulation interference between two repeaters occur? A, when the repeaters are in close proximity and the signals cause feedback in the final amplifier of one or both transmitters. B, when the repeaters are in close proximity and the signals mix in the final amplifier of one or both transmitters. C, when the signals from the transmitters are reflected out of phase from airplanes passing overhead. D, when the signals from the transmitters are reflected in phase from airplanes passing overhead. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
W9KLG, I'll try to take a crack at this. I'm going to say A. I believe that's the correct answer. I might be wrong, but I'm going to say A. That's W9.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin, sorry, that's not the correct answer, but hey, thanks for even trying anyway. Okay, I'm going to read this question one more time. How can intermodulation interference between two repeaters occur? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just get that. I'll give the correct answer, but anybody else want to give it a shot?
I got a feeling it's the answer where they had the two repeaters in close proximity and getting into each other. I think that might be the answer, but I'm not sure. AC9GO.
Well, I'll tell you what, Larry, I'm going to count you as being correct. You are correct, Larry, you are correct. How can intermodulation interference between two repeaters occur? The correct answer is B, Bravo. When the repeaters are in close proximity and the signals mix in the final amplifier of one or both transmitters. Intermodulation can be a problem in transmitters as well as receivers. This can happen when two transmitters are in close proximity and the signals mixed in one or both of their final amplifiers or any non-linear device or junction near the transmitters. This can result in severe interference. Extra class license manual page 7-22. Let's see if we can find another one here. Okay. Those of you who work slow scan TV should know the answer to this next question by heart. What aspect of an analog slow scan television signal encodes the brightness of the picture? A. Tone frequency. B. Tone amplifier. C. Sync amplifier. D. Sync frequency. What aspect of an analog slow scan television signal encodes the brightness of the picture? A. Tone frequency. B. Tone amplitude. C. Sync amplitude. D. Sync frequency. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
I think it might be the sync frequency, but I could be wrong on that. AC9GO.
Well, Larry, I'm afraid you are. That's okay. Hey, thanks for trying. This is all in fun. Anybody else want to give it a shot? Okay. What aspect of analog slow scan the television signal encodes the brightness of the picture? The correct answer is A alpha, tone frequency. Because HF signals experience frequent fading, amplitude is not used to encode the SSTV signal. Frequency of the received tones is unaffected by fading, however, and can be used to encode brightness or any control function of the signal. Extra class license manual page 8-23. Those of you who are new to this hobby, especially you younger hams, Rah-Rah used to have a slow scan at the TV station many years ago. I'm sure you talked to a lot of the long-time hams. They can tell you all about it. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time. Dean, K9FLO, are you on the air? I'll bet you, all right, I'll bet you you fell asleep. Okay, from which of the following bands is amateur radio contesting generally excluded? A, 30 meters, B, 6 meters, C, 2 meters, D, 33 centimeters. From which of the following bands is amateur radio contesting generally excluded? A, 30 meters, B, 6 meters, C, 2 meters, C, 33 centimeters. Anybody have a correct answer to this question? Okay, from which of the following bands is amateur radio contesting generally excluded? Correct answer is A alpha, 30 meters. By general agreement, 60, 30, 17, and 12 meters are excluded from contest activities. These are the work bands. This gives stations not interested in the contest an additional option for avoiding contest activity. Extra class license manual page 2-6. Remember the late Gene Duncan, W9GD, when he was talking about field days and stuff, he said avoid the work bands. Yes. Okay, I think this is going to be the last question of the evening. Atmospheric duct capable of propagating microwave signals, often form over what geographic feature? A, mountain ranges, B, forests, C, bodies of water, D, urban areas. Atmospheric ducts capable of propagating microwave signals often form over what geographic feature? A, mountain ranges, B, forests, C, bodies of water, D, urban areas. Anybody have a crack to answer this question?
KD9 EPZ.
Go ahead, Al.
I'm going to guess bodies of water.
Well, you guessed bodies of water, you're right. You are correct. You are correct. Atmospheric ducts capable of propagating microwave signals often form over what geographic feature? The correct answer is C, Charlie, bodies of water. Over bodies of water, air often forms stable layers that differ in temperature and humidity. The layers can act as guides to VHF and higher frequency radio waves over long distances. Extra class license manual, page 10-12. So, okay. Those of you who are come to Freeport for your extra class test, good luck. Let's hope you pass with flying colors. Okay, do we have any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now.
Hey, K9F.
K9F, Dave and Boyd Mobile. What's going on with you, Dave?
I just finished my dinner tonight and just heading back home.
Okay, sounds good. We're talking about Groundhog Day tonight. I'm asking a question. Do you believe in the legends of Groundhog Day or not? What do you think?
No, I've seen it both ways, so over the years. I don't really have a opinion right now. I know they said this morning that it's about 40% accurate. Over.
That's what they're saying too. That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, Dave. Have a safe trip home. Drive home safely. 73. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. We'll talk to you down the line.
Do have one other question too. Over.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does anybody on the net know how long it takes after you renew your license for it to be processed?
Oh boy, that I couldn't tell you. All I know is there's a two-year grace period from the time your license that expires. As far as well, I'll tell you what. With the case of Seth, KD9MED, it took him about 2.5, almost 3 weeks before from the time he passed his test to the time he got his license.
I got my license several years ago, but I just had to renew it. It comes up to expire in a week and a half, and I was just wondering how long it takes to get that new verification back. Over.
K9F, hello.
Well, I'll tell you what, from what I was told, 90 days, you might want to take advantage of it, but at least 90 days before your license is set to expire. My license will expire, I think, on May 19th of this year. So I've got let's see, I got from about February 19th till the time it expires to renew mine.
Right, I know that you can't do it any further in advance than 3 months, 90 days. But I was just wondering, since I just submitted it today, I was wondering how long. Okay, I will just have to watch for it then. Okay, thanks. K9F.
K9F, hello.
Okay, stand by, Dean. I'm sorry. Stand by, Dave. Dean, go. K9F, go ahead.
Hey, Dave, did you do it electronically?
Yes, I did.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I did mine a couple of years, 2-3 years ago, and I think it was like next day. It was very quick. I don't think there was any grace period at all in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the next day or something. It was very fast compared to the old days. So, of course, I could change that again as it goes there, Dave. So, yeah, is that, and you did that electronically?
Before, so it may make a difference.
You guys doubled.
Say that again, Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, say that again, Dave.
I was just saying that I was trying to get back to you when when I was told that I doubled with you, so.
Okay. Like I said, I think it's very quick. It seemed to me it was almost like the next day or something. I think that's almost done electronically. In other words, if there's nothing hit against your license, then they process it almost automatically. But of course, that's been 2 or 3 years ago, I think, 2000 or 2018, somewhere on there. So anyway, good luck on that there. And let me, sorry to jump in there. Can he help you out, Dave? I don't think you have any problem at all.
Okay, no, it's about 10 days yet before it actually expires, so I just wanted to make sure. And I did submit it this morning, so I will watch for it. Thanks. K9RFD clear.
Sounds good, Dave 73. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Dean, I don't know if Kurt KD9MED is on there or not, but if he is, Kurt KD9MED, go back to Dean if you're still on the air.
K9FLO, KE9N. I was starting to wonder. I told Jimmy earlier I'm going to hang around till about 9:45, and then I'm going to go upstairs. Did you doze off, or you just were too busy to come down?
Yes, you're correct at all there. Good evening, Kurt. And I was talking to Chuck, I think yesterday or last night, I think it was, whatever, and he mentioned about your radio and wanted to do some audio testing. I was hoping you got that taken care of. Sorry I was not off the air when you were trying to do that. I think that was back on Wednesday, so I'm dating myself there. So, yeah. No, tonight we were involved in a project, and anyway, now had to get down here, and I knew Jimmy was going to send me a threat letter or something like that, so I figured I better get down here and get checked in there, Kurt.
Yeah, he might increase your dues or something like that, and we can't afford stuff like that. No, I did a little bit of testing and stuff, and the radio seems to work okay. I'm referring to that TR4CW. Works real well. And this week, what I was working on is the remote VFO for it. It's a RV4C as in Charlie. And I was having a little troubles. Number one, you remember in the top right corner, there was a neon bulb that indicated it had power to it. The radio had the same thing. Well, in this one, the neon bulb is actually burned out. And so I got some new neon bulbs this week off of eBay. Put that in, well, actually last night, and that worked okay. Let's see, I just had to re-peak the output of the VFO, and then what happened was on that VFO, that one had plastic gears, and that's okay. There's not a lot of backlash or anything, but some knucklehead decided to oil them, and that's not good because the nylon gears will absorb the oil, they'll absorb water for that matter, and then they'll stick together sorta, and your tolerances between a gear that fits on another gear isn't good, and so the VFO wasn't real smooth, kind of stiff. So I took everything apart, cleaned everything, and then I took some 800 grit sandpaper and had to sand out a couple holes so the gears would turn freely then. And then I just used some dry Teflon powder in there, put it all together tonight, and now that's taken care of. And so that works real good.
Nice job. I never thought of that there. I just remember I wasn't necessarily Drake, but you just normally they were dry lubrication on them. On those there. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, good project. You can almost say is complete. But you know that to top it off is that neon bulb there, Kurt. That's what makes the difference there. K9 and K9FL. Oh, in the senile net, or not the senile, the oh boy, senior moment.
Talking about the Jimmy net.
Jimmy net, there we go. Boy, see? Yeah, so very good. I was going to mention also I ran into something like that. I had a problem on my Hammerlin 180 yesterday and had to pull it off the shelf there. And I had believe it or not, it's got one relay in there. And the purpose of the relay is more or less to provide muting when you transmit. It's the most unusual configuration because they kill the voltage to the tubes or to a couple of the tubes and all that. And I had contacts were kind of burnt on it, so I just went there and hit it with the old burnishing tool and made it all nice again. But that was my other excitement. I never gave that a thought of something like that going in it, but why in the world would you have a relay in there to do something like that? So anyway, KE9 and K9FL.
Well, sometimes they do things in the design of some of those older radios that you just kind of shake your head about, but they had to work with what was available at the time, which is actually how it got started, with 20 meters on up being used on upper sideband and 40 and 80 being lower sideband, because it was a matter of the frequency conversion as to what they had available, and it was just easier to do it that way. So that's how the whole thing got started, with upper and lower sideband. But anyhow, no, the rig works fine. I've tested the mic, the audio. Now, here's the thing with those. The audio isn't really quite full range, and the reason for that is because Drake used 2.4 kilohertz wide filters, sideband filters. Now, mine, of course, is the CW version, so it does have an extra 500 kilohertz CW filter. But for sideband, they were about 2.4 to 2.5 kilohertz in width. So that's why they don't necessarily sound quite as full range as like some of the rigs nowadays. But it works fine. I get about 160, 170 watts out. Tunes up real good. And then I put a fan behind the finals, and that works real good. I replaced all the bulbs with LEDs, and then I took and I had more of the blue filter material, which is what I used, and so it pretty much between that and the VFO, I mean, it looks brand new now.
A lot of work there. Are you gonna keep it, or for nostalgic reasons, or gonna sell it?
Well, I don't know. You know, if someone really, really wanted something that looks like new, and then if they wanted to pay me for that, remember I've got that C4 station console that I went through, and I got that looking like new. I have the MN2000 tuner with it as well, trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I've got the W4 watt meter with it. I've got covers for everything. If someone wanted to bring a big wheelbarrow full of money to my house, I would maybe sell it, but I just want to use it for a little bit, and then someday I'll just go, you know what, I'll just put it up for sale.
Yeah, that's one of those keepers. You've got it back the way you want it, and it's working the way you want, and it's a pretty darn cool radio. That's a keeper. You know, we all kind of have that. You have that particular one you like to hang on to, or ones, more than one, and so you just don't want to give it up, even though you may use it once every 6 months or a year, but it's there and you can turn it on, and yeah, I can certainly understand that there. I still, funny, I used my 180, my Hammerlin 180 for receiving, and I just like the audio on that. It just has, it can make, you know, you listen to a sideband station, it can make that sideband station sound like hi-fi. So it's just one of those things that you don't see anymore. Anyway, sorry, Jimmy, I didn't mean to hog in here. Sorry I'm running late, too, and everything else, but that's that senior thing. You know, I have issues of getting up in the morning and all that other stuff. So, anyway, down to the club Friday. Today was Friday fish evening, and visiting down there, and so that was kind of a busy evening for us. And tomorrow's going to be relaxing, no winter field days or anything like that, so it'd be nice to stay home. Although I'll tell you what, Kurt, I wouldn't mind having another one of those pizzas. They were really good. I told the wife about that, and we're gonna one of these days just call up and run over there and get one of those pizzas. That was really suicide. K9N, and I guess I'll let you shoot over there to Jimmy there, Kurt. And hello.
Hey, okay, very good. Well, the rig I geez, I like them all. You know, I got a set of Kenwood Twins, the 599Ds. Those sound pretty good. The one I really like is the KWM2A. That sounds real good, and then if I even go back further than that, you know, I got those, the 75A4, then the KWS1, and the 75A4, that's kind of the same way. Everything sounds good. Of course, I've got both, I think it's a 2.1 filter for it, and then I've got a I think it's a 2.9 sideband filter for it, somewhere in there, and so that always sounds good. But yeah, I just kind of like these because I got them looking like new. Everything works good, and that's kind of what I do in the hobby generally. So it's just kind of fun. But someday, you know, I'll just go, well, I need to get rid of all this stuff, and we'll see what happens. But it ain't going to be today. Anyhow, thanks a lot, Jimmy, for letting us talk back and forth. And we'll catch you later then, Dean. KC9GCR, KE9N, and I'm going to be clear and go upstairs.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, before I let you guys go, how do you like the sound of my new radio, my Yaesu FPM 200?
Your audio sounds just great. The radio's working real good, Jimmy.
Sounds good here, Jimmy.
Okay, sounds good. Dean, we're talking about Groundhog Day. As you probably heard, the groundhog did not see the shadow in either Madison or Woodstock, so we're in for an early spring. Do you believe all that legends and stuff or not?
Well, it depends on which side of the fence you are on it. I guess if you're looking for a shorter winter, it sounds like a great thing, and I think everybody said it's seen its shadow, I guess is how it works. I can't remember which, but after having the weather we had, I think it was yesterday, I'll tell you what, I liked it. So I'm not going to complain about that. If we're going to be lucky about that, I don't know. You know, like today was all cloudy and crummy this morning, but by this afternoon it was nice and sunny, and I can live with that. That's not a bad deal. That's a nice package. Could use a little warmer, stay, you know, like into the maybe 40s, but I guess it's going to get back to that, so I can live with that there, Jimmy. KC9GCR, K9FLO.
Okay, sounds good there, Dean. Yeah, that people have different opinions on that. It's fun. We're going to have at least 6 more weeks of winter anyway. I know that for a fact, but I always like to have fun with that. So, okay, Dean, you have a good evening. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. We'll talk to you next Friday night.
All right there, Jimmy. Take care of 73s, and remember, my favorite movie is the Groundhog movie, the one with, now I can't think of his name, but I always try to watch it each year. Talk to you later, Jimmy. Take care of 73s, KC9GCR, K9FLO, Big Clear.
Okay, Dean, yeah, over in Woodstock, they're having they have Groundhog Days. It's a 4-day celebration. They'll be showing that movie too. Okay, Dean, thanks for checking in. Have a good evening. Talk to you next Friday night. This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater Rockford, transferring for Friday Night Fun Net Center and Freeport. It is now 10 p.m. curfew time. Parents, you know where your children are at. Well, it's actually about 5 after 10, but who's complaining when you're having fun? Lockdown. Winnebago County Jail is now going into lockdown. Actually, they went into lockdown 5 minutes ago. Kerry, K9MED was telling me he listens to the Winnebago County jail frequencies on a scanner every night at 10 o'clock. The dispatch radios the corrections officers, lockdown, put the jailbirds to bed. Nighty-night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Okay, do we have any more stations like to check in the Friday Night Fun at this time? Okay, I'm going to give you a rundown of all the other nets we have in the area. The Night Watch net started 5 minutes ago. It's on 443.750 repeater in Chicago with a PL 114.8 plus offset. By the way, you can check out that net. You can also hear it on the 440.950 repeater in Janesville. That's Chad's W9AXD new repeater. I heard it last night, and I was able to check into that last night by using that repeater. That net runs 7 nights a week. So if you can't get into the repeater, you can get into either on the EchoLink or else on Chad's repeater. That's the Night Watch net. That's currently, it just got underway about 5 minutes ago. Don't forget about the Saturday evening rag shoot net tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. in this repeater. I'll be your net control station operator then. We go around and talk about different stuff. Usually net control brings up a topic. If you want to talk about that, fine. If you don't want to talk about it, you can bring up other stuff. I think, who was it? Was it Larry K9? Larry K9KGT. He brought up Bob Ham radio stuff here on the net. That was good that he did that. So, okay, Saturday evening right to net tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. on this repeater with yours truly. The let's see. The Saturday night fun net also takes place at 8 p.m. It's on the 146.910 repeater in Milwaukee with a PL 127.3 minus offset. You have to check in a certain way. So some of the topics they talk about, I wouldn't even bring up on this net. Okay, tomorrow afternoon around 4:30 on HF on 3.905 megahertz, 7580 meters, I believe it's upper sideband. The Illinois statewide Aries net is held. One of the net control operators is Lloyd, KD9MED down in the Sterling. He calls all counties and IEMA region 2. So there's several other net control operators. They call all the different ham operators and all the other districts, IEMA districts in Illinois. That net is held on the first and the third Sundays of each month at 4:30 p.m. again on 3.905 megahertz, 7580 meters. I believe that's upper sideband. Okay, let's see. Tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. we got the Greene County Aries Races net, which is on 145.110 repeater in Monroe with a PL 123.0 minus offset. It's a combination Aries Races and Ragtune net. Scott, K9YI will be net control on this coming Sunday. Last Sunday it was Brandon, KD9TNU. So, okay. Just a minute. That's right. Let me reset. I just remembered something. The Big Thunder Amps Radio Club net, starting this Sunday, will be held at a different time. It will no longer be held at 8 p.m. It will be held at 7 p.m. on the 147.375 repeater in Belvedere with a PL of 100.0 plus offset. I mentioned the Greene County Aries Races net. The Whiteside County net meets at 8 p.m. on the 146.850 repeater in Sterling with a PL 114.8 minus offset. You shouldn't have any problem getting into that repeater. The antenna is 300 feet high in the Illinois State Police Troop 1 radio tower at their main headquarters in Sterling. Okay, is somebody trying to check in? All I'm getting is a bunch of noise. You might want to increase your power, change the location. Okay, we'll continue on. Okay, let's see. Monday evenings at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. I should say, on this repeater. The Monday night Rah-Rah Info net is held. I ran the net this past Monday. It'll be Larry, K9KZD turned this Monday night. Immediately following that net, there'll be a Morse code practice with Larry, K9KZT. The Lee County Aries net is held every Monday evening at 8 p.m. on the 146.970 repeater in Dixon with the PL 82.5 minus offset. Immediately following that net, at 8:30 p.m., the Kishwaukee Hams Radio Club holds its Monday evening net on the 146.730 repeater in DeKalb with a PL 100.0 minus offset. Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. on this repeater, we got the Tuesday evening Health Tech and Social net with Larry, H9GO as your net control operator. At the same time, the Rock County Public Service, or Aries Races net, is held on the 145.450 repeater in Janesville with a PL 123.0 minus offset. at 8:30 p.m. on the 147.165 repeater in Oregon with a PL of 146.2 plus offset. The Ogle County ANSNet meet. And immediately following that net, if they have time, they'll go to 146.95 or 146.595 simplex for a frequency for a brief simplex net. After which, they'll switch back over to the 165 repeater for the 9 o'clock Ogle County Aries Races net. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on the 147.390 repeater in Freeport, PL 114.8 plus offset. We have the weekly Stevens County area set with myself, K9 GCR, as the net control operator. Immediately following that net at 7:30 p.m. on the 147.120 repeater in Boise with a PL 123.0 plus offset. The Greater Boyd Am Radio Club holds its Wednesday evening net. Then at 8 p.m. here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater with PL 114.8 plus offset, we have our Wednesday evening swap net. Mel, K9RFD, and I share the duties as net control operator. I ran the net this past Wednesday. He'll run the net next Wednesday. Then Thursday evening at 7 p.m. we have the Winnebago. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're having the Rockford to Metro Skywarn training net with Ricky, WX9RLT, as your net control operator. And maybe following that net, I will take over for the Thursday evening health tech and social net. We ask, on these nets, we ask everybody how they're doing health-wise. If anybody needs any help or anything, or if anybody has any other traffic you'd like to pass along for the net. Then don't forget, at Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. on the 146.415 simplex frequency in Janesville, the CAD, W9AXD has his Thursday evening simplex net. I believe we had 4 stations checking last night. That's definitely a good net, so do check out that simplex net. Then on HF, you got the CNOW net. That's held every day, Monday through Friday, between 1400 and 1500 hours Zulu, or 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. local time, on 14.287 megahertz, 20 meters of upper sideband. The 20-meter Ole Miss net is held starting at 12:30 p.m. on the 14.290 megahertz at 20 meters upper sideband. They also have a 40-meter Ole Miss net. I believe that gets underway at 6 o'clock or so. I'm not sure, but it's on 7.285 megahertz, 40 meters lower sideband. Okay, you're all caught up to date in your local nets. Support your local net control operators, your local nets. If you're a member of any ham radio club, support your local club, and by all means, support your local repeaters. Okay, do we have any more stations you'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun net? Please phone out. Unable to copy. You might want to increase your power and change location. Let's try that one more time, please. All right. I think I have a pretty good idea who it is. Scott, K9YI. If that's you, go to the 195 simplex. I can copy you better there. Let's try that one more time. You want the last station? I'll tell you what, you can't get a hold of me, contact me on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. Area code 815-232-FN, 232-3636. I'll take your check-in over the phone. Okay, do we have any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
KC9GCR, this is AH2I, Alpha Hotel 2 India, and I am checking in.
This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central Report. Okay, Brad, I've got you checked in. Go ahead.
All right, Jim. Just on my portable here, and my Motorola AP50, and I can't believe this radio still works after all these years, but it does. It hasn't really had a hard life either, so I replaced the battery a few years ago, and we're doing good. So anyway, yeah, your new rig sounds awesome, Jim, and really nice high fidelity type audio to it. You know, with the repeater. I'll bet you it sounds even better on Simplex. Without all the repeater filtering and all that going on, and whatever the deviation values are set on it. So anyway, it sounds awesome, Jim. You are full quieting in the repeater, I believe, for the most part.
Thank you very much, Brad. Jamie, W9JTC says when they have the guys in Ogle County have a simplex net between 8:30 and 9 o'clock on 146.595. I heard him tell Al, K9EPC, said that 400 really kicks butt. He said that's my signal sounds better on the simplex than my other radio did.
Yeah, depending on the repeater's preset values, you know, our deviation levels will vary. So when you're on simplex, you're getting the actual purest audio that you're going to get out of what somebody really sounds like. So anyways, the original 195 repeater was almost a perfect match for what people sound like on simplex. I don't know what kind of repeater it was, but I believe it was kind of put together like the original, like the 805 super system was that Herb Eckstein used to own. K9MED, now Silent Key, died a few years ago. And I don't remember the original 610 repeater. I thought it was like a Hamtronics or something, but don't quote me on that. I'm talking about the very original one that was from like the early 80s.
Well, when I first got on the air about 20 years ago, the old 3.9 repeater was that was the Hamtronics too.
Yeah, I believe it was, Jim. I think the year you got your license was the year they switched out the old 195. It had the same problems, I believe, the KD9MED Sears repeater. That was the old 255 repeater. Belonged to the KD9MED employees, ham club. Well, I think the county had bought them. It was a Motorola. I don't know if it was an MSF 5000 or exactly what it was. It was some kind of a Motorola repeater on the 195, and that was around the time you first got licensed when they switched it out. I don't think you were. Did you ever talk on the original 195? Because I thought that was 2003. It was either 02 or 03 when they replaced it, as I recall. But that's been a long time ago.
So I first got licensed back in 2004, and when I first talked to you, when we first we no more to start our conversation than the repeater would go dead.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe that was around. Maybe it was 04. I don't remember, Jim. That's been a few decades ago, my friend. But yes, I remember all the old repeaters and how they sounded like. They had different courtesy tones on them. The Roger beep, which helps you distinguish what repeater you were talking on. And the repeaters today widely don't have any courtesy Roger beep at all. I noticed it's just a squelch. You'll have a squelch burst in there, or a carrier, hang time, and then it just drops out.
I wish these repeaters still had the old courtesy beeps. That's for sure. I think the only one around here that has a courtesy beep anymore was the 443-275 repeater here in Freeport. That's at the same location as the 39 repeater. When I go key it up, in fact, I got my old issue. It's on right now. It's monitoring that repeater. If I key the mic, it still has that old courtesy beep on. What have you.
Okay, I had to switch the radios on you, Jim. Am I back?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
I heard everything you said. Yes, I have audio recordings on a couple of CDs of what the 610 and the 14700 repeater used to sound like about 25 or 26 years ago. And I've got them on disc. They were given to me by somebody else, and I don't even remember who, but somebody gave them to me. And they were a couple of the old midnight nets and whatnot. And some of the people that you'll hear on those recordings on those discs are no longer, sadly, they're silent keys now. I know Jerry, ZBI, Bob, N9FCN, and Beloit. May have been somebody else in there too. But those CDs contain, you know, the kind of like a little vault, if you will, of some of the repeater traffic that was going on around 1999, or right around 99-ish, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know what? You and Justin all get together sometime. You're gonna get a chance to hear some of that old stuff. What happened back then too, and especially what you and I talked about over the telephone that one time. We won't say anything about here.
Yeah, Jim. Those were happier days. Well, I was about to say, there's a lot of real friendly hands emerging though around now, and I'm hearing some more of the radio traffic and stuff going on. Now, the old 1470 repeater was on like a 100-foot tower off of Sandy Hollow Road. There's a gravel pit over there, and that's where the repeater was at. And the 223.88 repeater, the 1 1/4 meters or 220 megahertz band, those are the backup. Well, the 147 was the backup club repeater for Rah-Rah, and then they also owned the 88 repeater. So those are both theirs. They were running 3 repeaters, and then around 20 years or so ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, they had an ATV repeater at OSF the hospital.
Oh yeah, that's good. That was the good old days. But I say, you know what? I think the good old days are returning to this hobby now. We got more people coming in there, and we got you and Justin are back on the air now. The repeaters are being used more often with the analog and digital. I said things are getting back to like it used to be.
Well, that's good. I don't have system fusion capability, but I have EMR on 440 megahertz or 70 centimeters, same thing. And a friend of mine and I run a couple of repeaters in the area that are on that. So he's the mastermind and the brains behind it, keeps her going. And so one of these days, I'm going to get myself a Vertex fusion rig, like a dual bander, and then we'll do that. But I'm so busy nowadays. I don't have a lot of time to do radio in general like I did when I was much younger. So we're going to be going on 43 years old here, Jim, in a couple of days. So, you know, I was 17 when I got my license, my novice ticket.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I remember telling me that. Hey, Brad, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna move on with the net here. I'm sure Mike, K9MED, is probably getting tired. He's probably anxious to hit the sack here. But well, if you're still going to be on the air, we'll talk later on. But I think I better move on with. Oh, by the way, yes, Brad, we're talking about Groundhog Day. What do you think about the legend? Do you believe all that stuff or not?
AH2I. No, Jim. It's just all in good fun. It's just tradition. That's all it is. Good old Americana tradition. But I would say, looking at the weather trends, though, more meteorologically, if I can say that right, the polar jet stream is far lifted. And I'm noticing the subtropical jet stream kind of hovering over southern California, down in those southern states, Arizona, even as far as southern Texas, bringing a lot of that high pressure in. So we have warmer temps that are very unseasonably warm so far this month. And if that trend continues, my friend, spring is already here. I've already got a couple bushes outside that are starting to bud, as a matter of fact. And hearing the birds chirping in the trees like it's early spring already. So figure that one out. All right, Jim, well, let's get back at it. Back to net control. KC9GCR. This is AH2I.
Okay, Brad. Sounds good. Thanks for checking in. WW9, WWW, AA9G, Easy, or whatever. Yeah, the calls you used to have. This is K9GCR. We'll talk to you later, Brad. Thank you for checking in. It's always good hearing from you. We'll talk to you later. 7-3.
All you gotta do is remember my current call is AH2I. Pretty simple. Alpha Hotel 2 India. Very good, sir. Back to you. This is AH2I.
7-3 K9GCR. Okay, do we have any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time? Please call now. Okay, now I'm going to read the Amper's code. 1. The Amper is considerate. He never knowingly uses the air in such a way as to lessen the pleasure of others. 2. The Amper is loyal. He offers his loyalty, encouragement, and support to his fellow radio amateurs and local club and to the American Radio Relay League, to which Amps Radio is represented. 3. The Amper is progressive. He keeps his station abreast of science. It is well-built and efficient. Its operating practice is above reproach. 4. The Amper is friendly. Slow and patient sending when requested. Friendly advice and counsel to the beginner. Timely assistance, cooperation, and consideration for the interests of others. These are marks of the Amper spirit. And 5, and this is very important. The Amper is balanced. Radio is his hobby. He never allows it to interfere with any of his duties he owes to his home, his job, his school, or his community. Well, for me, it's a full-time hobby, and we'll leave it at that. And finally, number 6, the Amper is patriotic. His knowledge and his station are always ready for the service of his country and his community. That's the Amper's code. Is Tony K9RFD or EC always said something to live by not on the radio, but throughout life itself. This last segment, we better get ready in case we get into a full-scale war with Iran. You better bring back the old civil defense, CONORAD, EBS, and all that other stuff like that. Okay, do we have any more stations I'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay. Let's see. I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. I think we got 100. Justin K9FDO showed me that when he played, he had the January 12th net was playing, and we were talking about radio etiquette. I was definitely impressed with that. But you want to sign up for the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page? Contact Brad AH2I or Ricky WX9RLT, and they'll get you signed up. The last report, I think we had 168 stations or something on there. But I'll tell you what, this net is being recorded for a future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. I think I'm going to sneeze here. Stand by. Okay, it's also being live streamed on the internet around the world on the internet. So okay, listen to Friday Night Fun Net all day, every day, or all night, every night. It's every night is Friday night for the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. It's 3 in the morning. You can't sleep. Well, I'm going to turn on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page and listen to the net. If that doesn't put me to sleep, I don't know what will. But there you go. If you want to sign for the Friday Night Fun Net the Facebook page, contact Brad EH2I or Ricky WX9RLT, and they'll get you signed up. Also, I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline. We had one station check in tonight. That was K9RFD Repeater down in Elgin. Did you hear that phone ring tonight, folks? That was a real telephone ring, not that phony baloney cell phone ring. You've seen pictures of it on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. There's it's a traditional red desktop touchstone telephone there. And I'll tell you what, Justin and Kevin took more new pictures of my ham shack. I've got a brand new banner hanging up. It says K9GCR Friday Night Fun Net K9GCR Friday Night Fun Net Facebook. Let's do that again. I'm so excited I don't even know what I'm talking about. K9GCR Friday Night Fun Net, Freeport, Illinois. That's what I meant to say. It's hanging up on the wall right above my TV set. Jack, my maintenance man, hung it up today. So, okay. What you got, you see new pictures of my ham shack that were taken this past Sunday when this new radio was installed. Okay. Do we have any more stations who would like to check in? Please call now.
How's the net go tonight for you there, Jimmy? N4WGN.
Say that again. I almost keyed up on you. Say it again.
I asked you how'd the net go tonight? N4WGN.
Net went great. It's still going on. I got 25 check-ins so far.
Well, that's good. I was in the process of getting ready to make some supper. That's why I checked in a short time. And, man, it was good. I made some 2 breakfast skillets, one for me, one for her. Sausage. Had hash browns with green peppers and onions there, and sausage in it. Eggs on top with cheese.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Sounds good. I'm just getting ready to do my honorary checking, but so far it's good. It's definitely a good turnout tonight. I was asking everybody what do you think about Groundhog's Day? Do you believe in that stuff or not?
Yeah, I was years ago when we lived in Chicago, Jimmy. There was a guy on Channel 9, I think it was Channel 9. He always drawed on the board. Okay. Anyway, he one time made a comment there. No matter what they say, if it's going to be early spring or 6 weeks more winter, the calendar still says we get 6 weeks more winter.
Oh yeah, sure. Now, I know that. But it is. We're going to have at least 6 more weeks of winter anyway. But I'll tell you what, it's nice. It's nice. It's all in fun. I kind of enjoy that. And according to Jimmy the Groundhog in Sun Prairie and Woodstock Willie and Woodstock, we're supposed to have an early spring.
And the one out in Pennsylvania, he said early spring. So, but anyway, yeah, I know it's all fun. I think I read somewhere where it's right 40% of the time. So, hey, that's better than being wrong the 100% of the time, right? I watch it. I read about it, see what they said and everything. It's all fun and games, you know. It's just make conversation there. But yeah, it's all right though.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. In Woodstock this weekend, they're having Groundhog Days. They're showing that old movie Groundhog Day. I think it was a 4-day affair. I think that started yesterday, but Channel 13 News had that, and they showed that when they brought Woodstock Willie out of his hole there.
N4WGN. Oh yeah, I seen it. They showed it at 5 o'clock too there. Or was it 6? One or two. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's all right, you know. Give people to talk about it. I love that movie. You know, all the little comments that he gave every morning he got up. It was the same day over again. You know, he. I don't think they could have picked a better person than Bill Murray to play that. He did. I mean, it's just a movie made for him. You know.
This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun at the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting from Friday Night Fun at Central and Freeport. The ID went off during your last transmission, Bob. Yeah, I never seen that movie. So I heard a lot of people talking about it. They said it's a good movie.
Yeah, I seen it one time. You know, and I've never seen it again. But I see, you know, what it did there and everything. It was all. It's one of those movies that, you know, it's like, to me, watching the seventh game of the World Series in 2016. Seen it once, it's good. See it twice, it's okay. You know, but it can get old quickly. So I only seen it once, but I laughed a lot during the movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Cubs are making the World Series again. The deciding game. Want to see that in Wrigley Field when the Cubs winning it. That's about it there. So okay, Bob, I'm going to tell you what. Thanks for checking in, and I'm going to move along here. I'm sure my K9MED is kind of anxious to hit the sack there. So I'm going to let you go. You have a good evening, and thank you for checking in.
All right, Jimmy, you have a good one. I'll talk to you some other time there. KC9GCR, N4WGN.
Okay, this is the Friday Night Fun Net late night edition, if you will. Do we have any more stations you want to check in? Please go now. Okay. Well, I think everybody's checking who's going to check in. I think that this concludes our main business, so I think I'm going to, you know what? I got to do my honorary check-ins. Oh, boy. You know what? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. KD9MED. Seth, HC honorary check-in. Justin told me he hoped to be home by 8 o'clock tonight, so he was going to check in. This is the day he was supposed to come home from Puerto Rico. So I don't know but I decided I'm going to put him down anyway. So, Seth, if you're listening, you're already checked in. Now, N9AXD Tony. Our EC here in Stevenson County, come to find out he's down in Wilmington, Illinois with flooding situation down there. N9TAB. Tracy, Tony's better at the HC honorary check-in. Let's see, and we mustn't forget the beautiful Kishwaukee River Yacht Club south of Rockford. Scott, 889. Silver Fox, HC honorary check-in. one of the best guys in the whole world. He doesn't check in that much, but he listens every Friday night. Richard N9ZO in Belvedere. HC honorary check-in. Let's see. AC9JZ Mike. HC honorary check-in. Okay. KC9ICH. Robert, HC honorary check-in. Now my Stevens County check-ins. KD9LOA. Brandon, HC honorary check-in. KD9OVJ. HC honorary check-in. You know what? W9AXD Ricky, HC honorary check-in. KC9YI Scott Monroe, HC honorary check-in. W9HF Chad, HC honorary check-in. And okay, I gotta figure out Erica. Oh boy. Oh yeah. KD9VBX. HC honorary check-in. And you know what? I gotta check in the Vernon. KD9YUM. HC honorary check-in. I also gotta check in let's see. Tony. KD9YUK. HC honorary check-in. And W3MBX. Matt, HC honorary check-in. 41 check-ins overall. Okay. We have any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net. What's around traffic? Please call K9GCR. Okay. This concludes our main business. I think everybody's checked in that was going to check in. Thank you for checking the net tonight. Let's see. Be sure you tell your mothers, your fathers, your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, your nieces, your nephews, your grandparents, your neighbors, your in-laws, your neighbors across the street, down the street, next door. Be sure you tell your butcher, your baker, your candlestick maker. Be sure you tell the clerk behind the checkout counter at your grocery store. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the checkout counter at your convenience store. Be sure you tell your waiters, your waitresses, your bartenders, your friendly neighborhood bars, restaurants, taverns, or pubs. Be sure you tell the clerk behind the counter at your local post office when you buy your stamps and envelopes. Be sure you tell your bank teller when you go to cash a check or withdraw some money. Be sure you tell your tax consultant. Tax season is already underway now. Be sure you tell your members of your local PTA or PTO. To be sure you tell your news car dealer, your used car dealer, or garage mechanic. Be sure you tell your priests, your ministers, your rabbis, your mullahs, your ayatollahs, or your imams. Be sure you tell your parole officer, your probation officer, your divorce lawyer. Be sure you tell your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends, your ex-girlfriends, your husbands, wives, your ex-husbands, your ex-wives, your ex-in-laws, of course, your old ladies about the Friday Night Fun Net. The more check-ins, the better than that. Make sure you have a valid FCC license before you check in. We do not take any check-ins from jailbirds, jammers, potty mouths, crackheads, dopeheads, potheads, telemarketers. If it's in the clubhouse, take a knee or clench your fist when the national anthem is being played. We do not take your check-ins. If you don't bag the blue, we don't take your check-ins. Plain and as simple as that. Okay. I want to to thank everybody for checking in. It was a great net tonight. You had your thoughts about Groundhog Day. That's all in fun, folks. Okay. I believe that takes care of that. This is the last call for any stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net. Remember, we're in the region with ground traffic. Please call K9GCR. Last call for Ratchet Jaw. Okay. Tune in again next week. Same time, same repeater for another edition of the Friday Night Fun Net. Until then, this is Jim, K9GCR. Now closing down this Friday, February 2nd, 2024, Groundhog's Day edition of the Friday Night Fun Net. I return the repeater and the frequency of normal amp radio use. At 10:47 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 hours, 45 minutes Zulu time with an unofficial count of 41 check-ins. 7-3s, everybody. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. This is K9GCR. Wish you all a very pleasant, happy Groundhog Day to all, and to all a good night. KD9MED, KD9MED, K9GCR.
KD9MED.
Go ahead and post it, Mike. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep you up late. I don't know if you go to bed late or early or what, but I thought I'd better get to going here. 2 hour, 47 minute net with an unofficial count of 41 check-ins.
All right, Jimmy, we'll get it posted. This is KD9MED. Clear on your final there.
7-3 Mike, and thanks for all you do. Thanks for those 2 internet check-ins. I'll talk to you later. K9GCR, be clear. Good night. We'll talk to you next Friday night.